The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and he missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
It's been 3 weeks since the HPP Simulation Truck Series has been on the track, but it's safe to say the chase for the championship is still hot as we hit race 2 of the round of 8 to decide who will be crowned iROC champion. In Las Vegas, with 12 laps to go, Jordan Erickson passed Michael Krobach in the middle of green flag pit stops after Krobach got mixed up with lap cars and punched his ticket into the Final Four. Tonight, it's the ultimate wild card, Talladega. Will one of the 7 remaining drivers punch their ticket to the Final Four? We will find out on the Global Sim Racing channel. Good evening. I'm Chris Scala filling in for Samuel Ryman, who is on assignment this evening. Tanner Sharp joins me tonight along with Joe Peak, who of course keeps the ship sailing, and Dougie Beard, who's already on his 3rd Talladega hot dog today, manning the cameras. Tanner, tonight we have race 2 of 3 to decide who will run in the Final Four for the championship, and we have a track tonight where anyone can win. What can we expect tonight from the Central Alabama Speedway?
Expect the unexpected at Talladega. Whenever you come here, you can go from the front to the back, to the back to the front, and anybody in this field tonight can win this race. And one little move, one little wiggle, and you can create a big one. Tonight's Talladega Superspeedway is a 2.66 mile superspeedway, a sister track to Daytona International Speedway. The only difference is this track's a little more wider than what Daytona is, and it has a little more degrees of banking. 33 degrees of banking tonight on a fixed setup, 58 laps. These guys will be driving up for 154 miles with a 60% fuel load, around 24 laps. That's about 2 stops. Tonight's weather is actually late afternoon, so the track's really cool here tonight at Talladega, which is going to provide some great grip for tires, and handling should not be too much of a concern under pit stops. So Sam, I'm really Chris, I'm so used to Sam being in
That's
the booth.
10 cents in the bowl already.
It is, and I'm so used to Sam, but tonight we got you, Chris, and I'm very honored to be in the booth with you tonight, and I'm really looking forward to getting this Talladega race get going.
Yeah, we're ready to go here. As a matter of fact, we have some virtual rain in the area, so the officials have pushed the start of the race up here at about 30 seconds. They're going to be gritting, but real quickly, we'll run through the standings. Of course, it all started with 12 drivers in the chase. Then we went to 8, and that's where we're at right now as we work our way down to 4. Michael Krobach, Josh Tanner, they are tied right now for the points lead. Jordan Erickson, he won at Vegas. He's on to the Final Four, so he's in already, but he's 3rd right now. Brian Yazik, Nicholas Cohan, Gary Whitson, Austin Missler, and Bryce Whitson Jr. Bryce in a little bit of a hole after having some mechanical issues computer-wise 3 weeks ago in Vegas, so he's pretty much in a win situation here tonight as we look at the 8 that are left in the chase, Tanner.
Yeah, and on the grid outside that top 10, Josh Tanner will start 11th here tonight. 12th place is Scott Formosa. 13th place, Aaron Kleinhans. Nick Cohan, the jerky man, is the last car to take a qualifying lap. A very slow lap, I may add.
As we look at the starting lineup, as you heard a little bit Tanner talking about the bottom part there, the starting lineup, Brian Yazik will be on the pole, 53.317 seconds. He actually was joking with me before we went on the air, saying that he is his average finish with me and him on with me on the air covering a race of his is 1.5. He's finished 1st and 2nd in the 2 broadcasts. He kind of gave me that random note. Robert Barber, he'll start on the outside of row number 1. Bryce Whitson Jr. is going to need that win tonight. He'll start on the inside of row 2 alongside Gary Whitson. Michael Krobach, Jeffrey Gilliam in row number 3. You got Mark McCrary and Austin Missler, row 4. And rounding out the top 10, Michael Koenig and Travis McQuiston.
Yeah, and Josh Tanner will start in the 11th position tonight. Scott Formosa, 12th. 13th place is Aaron Kleinhans. Nick Cohan, the jerky man, 14th. Jordan Erickson, 15th. 16th is Mark Myers. Jackie Pelmore in 17th. And rounding off the top 18 car field is Tim Knott.
So kind of a smaller field, 18 cars tonight, but still, Talladega with the trucks. I said this off the air a little bit as I was talking to some friends, and here's what I always think of the trucks at Talladega. I always feel this is the best racing when it comes to iRacing drafting at Talladega, because the trucks, you can use that high line. I know the Gen 6 cars and even the B cars, you got to kind of team up to get that high line to work. The trucks, you get to push and you can get that high line to work and get 2x2 racing.
Yeah, you can, and the bumpers really match up pretty well in the trucks and the B cars, I may add. And on that, in the B cars topic, you can actually get that the high line going if you're holding your lines pretty much straight. That's the same thing with the trucks here. You can get a really good suck up, and it's not like Gen 6 race cars, as you just pointed out there, Chris. So here at Talladega, it's going to be a lot of mixing up to do. You can actually draft a little more with these trucks, so watch for a bunch of guys try to dip towards that outside lane. But like I said earlier, the closer you are together, these guys are driving closer together than you park at a shopping mall. I mean, I'm telling you, one little bobble of a move and one little wiggle, and it'll create the big one. So you really have to be careful and trust your spotter.
Ooh, you mentioned those dreaded words, the big one. What is the big one, in case you haven't watched iRacing or any NASCAR racing? That is basically here at Daytona, where you get a pack of cars or trucks and they pile it up. You could see that tonight, and that could be the ultimate factor when it comes to who advances into that Final Four or who doesn't. Now, I should mention Jordan Erickson will be EOL'd at the start of this race due to driving through too many pit stalls at the race in Las Vegas. So you'll notice that Jordan Erickson will start shotgun on the field. So Tanner, you've been here. Obviously, this is the middle part of the chase. You got 5 more races before the end. Talladega, what do you do to get through this thing?
Hope and pray that you don't get involved. You can work with whoever you want on the racetrack until you drop the green flag. And outside that top 8, actually the top 8 right there is Bryce Whitson, who's actually going for the championship. He needs a really good finish, or at least a win, to have any kind of shot towards the championship pursuit of the pedals. So I tell you what, you just gotta stick in there and hope the big one does not really happen, as we can see the pace cars headed down pit road here at Talladega.
Here we go. 54 laps are going to, or 58 laps, I should say, will get the race completed this evening. But first, we got to take the green flag. It's race 2 of the round of 8 in the HPP Simulation Series. We're green at Dega. And Cohan already jumping to the outside.
Yeah, 3 wide right off the bat here at Talladega, and someone's smoking?
It's actually dust. Believe it or not, the track is rather dusty tonight. Apparently a sandstorm hit Talladega, which there are a little bit of sand areas at the track where this used to be a warfield, actually, where planes would lift off like an airport back in the day.
Boy, oh boy, that's the first time. It looked like kitty litter for a moment there, Chris, that we would usually see in NASCAR, but that's actually dust being kicked up off from the racetrack as they head down turn 3 for the first time today. Everybody's fighting towards that bottom, but look on that high side. The number 33 truck there is actually leading that high line around. That's Robert Barber. He already lost a couple positions since the start.
Yeah, he's falling back. You need a little bit of help. You got the HPP trucks teaming up the inside. Yazik there. You got Bryce Whitson Jr. also in there, and also Gary Whitson. So the Whitson's teaming up. It's going to be Yazik, though, through the tri-oval here. Remember, the start-finish line is down in turn 1, and Yazik will lead lap 1. And already getting 3 wide.
Yeah, already 3 wide here at Talladega. These guys are getting racy right now, and there's a lot of grip on the racetrack. The racetrack's nice and cool, out 75 degrees on track temperature. That's cool. The tires like that, and that's going to give these guys the mobility to move around the racetrack. But one thing that these guys are going to have to pay attention is going on that front stretch on the tri-oval down there. It's pretty bumpy, and if you bump somebody the wrong way going through those bumps, you can send them for a spin, so you really got to be careful on your pushing.
Krobach giving a 33, a big run down the back straightaway there. Robert Barber back on the outside. You mentioned that bottom group. I always like to run the middle in the tri-oval, but that's obviously hard to do when you don't know who's behind you, and he might go to the bottom and put you 3 wide. But nonetheless, look at Krobach pushing a 33 up there, battle for the lead. That's what we're going to see here, this pack racing. That's what Talladega's all about. Yazik at the line there.
Yeah, that higher line is going pretty well right now. That is actually Michael Krobach pushing Robert Barber there, and he's doing a whale of a job doing it. Now, if they can make that exit nice and wide, go out to the wall, I'm sure they can get a nice run on the race leaders.
Yeah, third car outside, Nick Cohan started 14th, already up to 6th here at the completion of, not even the 3rd lap. So that just shows you this draft is you working. You can work your way up as Krobach's going to go to the top. You're going to leave the 33 maybe in the middle there? Oh, yeah, that's right. He did not get a good run. Look at the 88 through the middle. Erickson from the back.
Clowns to the left of me and jokers to my right. Here I am. I'm in the middle, and I'm going forward.
Erickson just getting draft, using that middle line, going to work his way up to 5th, up to 4th. He said, hey, I might have won Vegas, but you know what? I'm going to keep one of you guys from getting in it.
Yeah, this track's a little bit different than Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here, you're flat out, lifting here and there.
Oh, one car on the apron. Oh, the 93, Travis McQuiston, he got knocked down there, I think. They saved it, though.
Yeah, that was a tremendous save. He just pulled a Kyle Busch right there. That was a really good job, those guys not wrecking, too.
Yeah, it looks like no damage on the Microsoft 93.
And I don't think he lost too much of a draft there, Chris.
Yeah, he's going to hold on. It looks like, from what I'm hearing through audio, he had a little issue with his screen. It went black for a split second, but got it back, and that could have been crisis averted there. So great job on everyone's part to miss that. Yeah,
not a track you want anything malfunction on your PC system to be happening, or even if you're going to be blinking at a track like this. You don't want that stuff to happen because that can create disaster.
Yeah, and actually it's kind of funny. I ran a race earlier today, an A-fixed race, that the last caution came out because somebody's screen went black. Not to mention I won the race, humble brag. But, you know, in cases, I guess it's good when somebody's screen goes black. But in this case, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, challenge for the race lead up here. You got Ryan Yazik still leading that bottom side, but Jordan Erickson jumped on up there, and he's about to challenge Yazik for the race lead here.
Yeah, Jordan Erickson looking like somebody else in that 88 at Talladega. Looking pretty good. Started from the back, working his way up. He's got some help there on his outside. And that is Aaron Kleinhans that's out there, helping him out in that green and white number 05, or 85, that is.
And using a little side ref through the tri-oval. It's a dangerous place, but it can be very effective, as Jordan Erickson did not get to the line in time to lead a lap. Ryan Yazik led that last night.
That bottom line is organized right now. You got the 31 right there, also on the outside line, Mark McCrary. You also got the 80 truck of Scott from Morsa. He's up there at that outside, but it's not really formed up compared to that inside line. That's why I think the inside's been able to hold as you ride with Kleinhans. It's all holding the throttle, and there's a lead change. Jordan Erickson going to take the lead, and Yazik almost got together with the 85 as he tried to come down.
I liked what Jordan Erickson did right there. He was clear, and he took advantage of it. He went to the bottom. Now this is going to give Jordan Erickson an opportunity to lead a lap because Yazik's not up towards that back bumper. Now he should be.
Problem here, he ain't going to lead the lap. Here comes the 85 of Kleinhans is going to lead this lap.
Man, you could have a new leader down on turn 1, and then it's going to be somebody totally different by the time you get back to the start-finish line.
There's a reason why they put that start-finish line down towards turn 1, and you're seeing it right now. The 31, Mark McCrary, is going to get pushed by Formorsa. He's also got the 33 of Barber.
Oh, the 88 going through the middle. He decides, oh, theirs is getting close.
Oh, I'm thinking stroke race in my head with Harry Gant right now.
I can't say
it. I can't say it because it's not clean.
I'm thinking wreck, and oh, that 33 almost tagged the right rear quarter panel of the 88. That 33 was Robert Barber.
The line I just heard, you know it's lap 7, right, guys? Lap 7. now, one thing I do want to mention, Tanner. 24 laps on a tank of fuel. That means we're going to see one, or at least 2 pit stops in this race. Do you get a team together and try to short pit this thing in maybe the next 2 laps? Because you do that, you go 20 laps, you get to lap 30, 35 in that range, and all of a sudden you're able to get to 58 on 1 tank of fuel.
Well, you could, but one thing you're definitely going to need is you're going to need a drafting partner or a couple drafting partners. Plan with them and see where it goes. But here's the biggest kicker. If you want to win this race, you cannot beat yourself on pit road. Because if you beat yourself on pit road, that's going to cost 100 yards or more on the racetrack.
Yep, football field to second, as they say, is the ratio here at this kind of track. Do not want to make a mistake. Now, I doubt you're going to see 4 tire stops tonight with these trucks. The handling's so good on these things. You're going to see likely 2 tires as the field kind of gets spread out a little bit here. Just riding around. One truck I do want to mention is lost draft. Michael Koenig's back here in the 18th position. Unfortunately, he's lost a draft. He is going to get caught pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's Mr. Lonely, and he is only going 179 right now to the start-finish line, about 180 miles an hour towards the race leaders who are going about 190. That's a 20 miles an hour difference there, Chris.
Yeah, about a second and a half, 2 seconds, literally, that he's going to lose a lap, so he'll get caught here pretty quickly. He's already 12 seconds back as we speak. So the leader right now is Jordan Erickson. He's got the 33 of Barber right there behind him. Aaron Kleinhans, the top 3 in line there. And here comes the 31 of McCrary. He's starting to get single file the first 6, 7, 8 cars right now. I do want to mention real quickly, if you're watching us on the iRacing Live or on the Global Sim Racing channel and you got a question you want to submit, feel free to do so. I do have the chat up myself. I'll answer it, or even Tanner will answer, or any of us will answer if you have any questions about tonight's race or about Talladega or what you think is going to happen. We'd love to see your thoughts, and we'd love for you to be a part of the chat as they start to sort it out a little bit here.
Sorting out a little bit. They played early. Right now, they're going to try to sort it out just a little bit. Not anymore. As soon as I say that, Robert Barber's going to pull out of line, and they're going to try to freight train Jordan Erickson. I don't know how effective that would be. Actually, they're getting help on that higher line.
And the man with the shark grill on the outside going to take the lead. 33 of Robert Barber.
Robert Barber goes towards the front here. He's getting a punt and a push. I believe that is Aaron Kleinhans from behind. That's a 2-car tandem. They're actually pulling away just a little bit, but they got to break up because you don't want your engine to overheat.
Nope. Tandem does work in these trucks, and you see it right there. I know the Gen 6 package, you can't really tandem anymore unless you drag the brake. However, Kleinhans going to lead. That 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah,
Erickson is not playing games tonight.
No, he's not. He's driving like an Earnhardt in that 88, that's for sure, as he goes to the front once again.
Up there to block the 85.
That was actually a good move right there. I like that.
I was wondering if Kleinhans was going to drop to the bottom, but cooler heads prevail there.
Every time I tried something like that, somebody's shaking their fist at me.
Or saying things you can't be saying in chat.
Exactly. It's racing, man.
Oh, absolutely. It's what it's all about. It's Talladega, baby.
Now, a driver I want to keep an eye on tonight who needs to make up some serious points is Bryce Whitson. He's riding middle pack and actually stuck up on that higher line. That is actually low line, excuse me. That is Bryce Whitson, the 00. He's currently riding 8th, but he's riding nice and smooth behind the number 7 of Michael Krobach.
Yeah, Whitson, as you mentioned, riding 8th, had issues with his hardware last week and unfortunately fell 20 points back to start this round. It's only a 3-round chase. So you had last week at Las Vegas. You got tonight here at Talladega being race number 2. And, of course, next week at the Rock will be race number 3, and that'll sort out the final 4. That'll race for 3 races to get the champion for this HPP Simulation Series.
I know it's an 18-car field, but you have guys who started outside the top 10 who actually are up there towards the front right now. That is Jordan Erickson.
We got some pit stops coming. I heard names. I think Cohan's going to be one. Krobach's coming to pit road. Somebody's coming hot. Gary Whitson locking him up. Everybody's going to make it, though.
Don't beat yourself on pit road.
Yazik on pit road. Cohan, McQuiston is in. Missler, Gilliam, Krobach, all these guys, I'm likely going to see 2 tires. If not, fuel only. This is lap 12 these guys are in.
I'd say at least 2 tires. And actually, Gary Whitson overdrove his pit box.
I'm hearing no tires. I'm not surprised about this. No tires, 60% fuel, get them out.
Yeah, I mean, the track is pretty cool for them to take no fuel or no tires. So fuel only is the way to go here. Oh, someone's spinning, actually. Spinning the tires at the exit of pit road.
That's going to happen with the older tires especially. But nonetheless, here come the leaders off pit road. You got a pack of 5. And then you got another pack of 4. And then everybody else coming off pit road. So very interesting. The bigger pack choosing to pit. If I'm the leaders, I might be coming to pit road now because with this small pack, I don't know if these 5 can run as fast as the other group. Because, I mean, we got a group of 7 trucks here in line now.
Yeah, I would try to come down pit road right now. Okay, they pitted. Let's pit this time by, so that way we're not going to lose any more time. And try to understand what they've taken, because if you go on pit road and take 2 tires and fuel, you technically just lost some time to the guys that took fuel only.
You got Bryce Whitson out there on his own here. He's going to get caught by this pack. He should be able to join him if he gets up to speed quick enough. But he did get out there alone. I don't know if he had a really good stop or what happened there. We'll have to go back and review what happened to Bryce Whitson there, which got him so far ahead. But he's going to join this pack.
Man, I wonder how... Actually, Bryce Whitson, yeah, he's now with the pack. That was one point he got out there alone, but...
I'm actually reviewing it right now. He just had such a good pit stop. I mean, he got on pit road and
the other thing is,
just got us so far ahead.
Yeah, another thing is if you want to win a restrictor plate race like this, you have to execute the basics flawlessly, and then circumstances will dictate the outcome.
Wow, this big pack going 3 wide back here. Cohan, McQuiston, Bryce Whitson. That's not smart.
It's not, especially if you're trying to catch up. Nick Cohan, the jerky man.
I'll have to write that one down. You know what I'm noticing too? A little bit of nose damage. I'm looking closely at Brian Yazik's truck. I'm seeing damage on a bunch of these trucks, or is that a glitch on my system maybe?
Could. I'm not really seeing any damage because really.
Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, if he had any kind of damage whatsoever, Chris, he wouldn't be running with this pack, in my opinion.
Right, which is my thought, but I'm just like, why am I seeing damage on these trucks? It might be something with my system or something, but yeah, I'm looking, yeah, glitch is hacking my system now. What else is there?
I'm glad. I mean, if Brian's listening to the broadcast in the background, don't
he's
get a
probably
heart
freaking
attack
like,
from
what?
us. Yeah.
You ought to know by now.
I mean, he's going 193 miles an hour, 192 miles an hour in this draft, so I mean, he's running fine. Aerodynamics is so key at this track.
Yeah, you cannot get any fender dented at all. If you do, you are pretty much done. Unless you can somehow just stick in the draft. But the pack you're looking at on the screen, this is going to be the lead pack once these others pit, at least we think. Right now, I'm looking at the front 4 and their lap times, 50.08 the last time by. I go down to that second pack of cars, 49.5. So they are full half second to a full second faster than these pack of 5 cars.
Yeah, and they're on the same set of tires too, but the draft can play goofy ways here at Talladega. I mean, one pack could be faster than the next, and you're like, oh, what are we doing wrong? Sometimes it's just the formation. I think Klingon's just got a little loose on the tri-oval there.
That is possible too. Tri-oval is only about 18 degrees of banking, so you could easily get your car, or truck in this case, to be pretty light. But yeah, these three, you look at this pack here, you got Austin Missler, you got Whitson and Brian Yazik. They're up here pushing each other with the 61 at Gilliam. As a matter of fact, 11's going to get shuffled out. I think maybe that's purposely being done so that he can cool his truck down. But you look up here at these front 4, they're just kind of spread out a little bit, just kind of running their own pace.
I think the bigger pack that you're in, the faster you can go there, Chris, as you said earlier at the top of the show.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The more trucks, the faster you're going to go, especially if you're on the right line. I always say in this case, and we've learned this with the later builds, if you run the Q line at Talladega with 3 or 4 or 5 trucks, you'll actually go faster than a bigger pack, which is weird. But that's the way it's been since this last build came out.
Indeed, and I'm a little worried about Jordan Erickson because when you're leading the front pack like this, you're actually using up more fuel than the guys behind you that's actually drafting, because they're only probably about, what, 3/4 throttle, and they're not using as much gas as Jordan Erickson.
Correct, and then, like I said, they're only able to go about 22 to 24 laps, so you're going to see them on pit road next 4 to 6 laps here on pit road as you ride with Robert Barber, who's just riding there about the 4th, 5th truck in line. He was one of those few that came to pit road. I said correctly, he wasn't on pit road yet. He's with this pack that hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah, I would have pitted a long time ago, but...
Well, if you're Jordan Erickson, what do you got to lose? You're already in the final 4. You know what? Your bed's made right now. Go ahead and go as far as you can. See if you can get a caution.
Yep, that is true.
We had 20 laps in the books, or 19 in the books. Lap 20 running right now, 39 laps to go here at Talladega.
Yeah, that front pack from all the way, actually, from Jordan Erickson.
Lead change. Cleanon's going to go to the front.
This might be some good strategy in Erickson part to save a little gas, too.
I don't know if a lap or 2 difference is going to help you when this is all over with.
It may not, but who knows? Only Jordan Erickson in that 88 truck would know.
Now, what he could be doing is falling to the back and saying, hey, you know what, I don't have to worry about getting ran over coming to pit road. That could be happening, I could see.
What I used to do all the time, and I still do it today, is during green flag pit stop at the super speedways, I go all the way down to that inside
That's exactly what I do. Go to the wall.
Yep, so nobody behind me could hit me.
And Formosa going to try to lead a lap.
Oh, man, Cleanon's just got brake trained.
It's like, man, what did I say to you guys?
Right? Leonhans, he's actually pretty comfortable on that bottom there, but if anything, he's going to have to fall in behind Ericsson, as Ericsson's going to go high, the draft off to Barber in the 33. But I'd say these guys are going to be pitting within the next couple laps here, because we're starting to open up that fuel window there, Chris.
Yeah, you got the fuel window about 24 laps, like I said, which you go to 24, you go to 48, then you got obviously the final 10 laps to go to the finish in this race. You got the second pack. Let's look at them real quick. Mark Myers here in the 04 truck. You got Josh Tanner. You got Jackie Palmore. You got Tim Knott up there in the 6th position, the 41 truck. These four, they're on their own little pack. They're in between the two big packs, running 6th through 9th. And in that second pack, or the third pack, I should say, led by now Brian Yazik back in 10th, entering turn number 3. These guys, I'm thinking, are going to be the leaders when these other trucks pit.
Actually, these guys are actually on the same strategy as the race leaders, because they have yet to pit.
Right, which I believe we're going to have some pit stops here. I'm starting to hear some calling out for pits, so you're ready for the second group here that has not pitted yet to get on pit road for tires and fuel, I'm thinking, or maybe just right sides to see the leaders are going to stay out. So it's going to come from the second group, I believe.
Yeah, the second group has called in, come down pit road, and they're coming, but one car's going to stay out, and he's become Mr. Lonely.
Got to get down to 60 miles an hour on that speed, that pit road speed limit. I'm about to limiter. There ain't no limiter in these things.
There could be, but there isn't.
Don't even bring that up. Everybody sliding in. Let's see what we see. As the least right side tires going on. Fuel only for the 84. Four tires. Yeah, wow.
Maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't think handling would be playing too much of an issue.
And you see the pack go by there in the bottom of your screen. So that's the pack that pitted. This is how much time this second pack lost with the pack running out here on their own.
That's Michael Koenig. Just got on the radio saying he's going to be pitting. He's all the way back in that one big pack by Krobach and them fellers out there.
Yeah, I think he lost the pack. Leaders are going to be coming to pit road.
Yep, Scott Formosa got on the radio saying I'm going to be pitting in, and you know what? That just called everybody else, like Robert Barber, Jordan Erickson. This group's going to be pitting this time by.
Let's see what Erickson's doing. He's jumping to the outside to 33 here.
He may be giving some room. Pit here. Let's see what happens.
They're all coming, Doug. There's no contact. No contact with the 80. Wow, how did he save that?
Yeah, that 80 car almost T-boned that inside wall, and there's no safer barrier down there.
Going to see it on replay here. Jordan Erickson's going to go 3 wide all by himself, top to bottom elevator, move off the track here. Well, I guess middle to bottom. He's going to make contact with the 80, and how the 80 is able to save this whole thing is nuts.
There is not any apparent damage on that number 80 machine at all, Scott Formosa, so I guess no harm, no foul.
Looks like 2 tires for most of these trucks. One did take 4.
Tell you what, here comes the
Jordan
big pack right now. And here comes the big pack with Brian Yazik leading it right now.
Here's where you see the speed difference right here. Yazik, everybody's going to blow by him in turn 1 and 2. They're going to be the leaders now. Now the second pack's going to have to get organized.
Yeah, they're really
as you ride with Whitson.
Yeah, they're pretty spread out.
Now these trucks do suck up pretty good, so don't be surprised. This 80 could tag on here and maybe get up to speed with him. He's almost there already.
They can all get hooked up on that bottom row and chase down the race leaders, but the problem is those race leaders are all running single file in a big pack.
So Brian Yazik will take the lead, the pole sitter. He's going to be up front when this all cycles through. You're going to have Bryce Whitson in second. You're going to have Nick Cohan up to third. Travis McQuiston, he is up to fourth. Austin Missler, your top 5. As we complete lap 25, just about to halfway, just a couple laps away from halfway.
Man, I think Jordan Erickson got odd man out because he is by himself down in turns 1 and 2 with no drafting help. And he's about 7.5 seconds, even more, away from Aaron Kleinhans.
You know, the one thing I do notice out of this pack, and I was kind of catching it, all the HPP sponsored cars and trucks that are in here,
they're all together.
It's almost like the team. Yeah, it's all the team working together here, which is a very smart move. Put the team together and go run.
Well, I mean, you could plan things until they drop the green flag, but right now, the teammates, those HPP boys, are up front. Yazik and Whitson, as you can see here, you know, they're up front running, and they're running well together, and they're probably on the same strategy. And this is actually going to put Whitson in a good position to get a good finish.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, but the problem is right now I'm having with Whitson is he's getting closer and closer to that left rear quarter panel of Yazik.
Yeah, and that's always dangerous. But yeah, but remember, when it's all over with, at lap 58 tonight, only one can move to the final 4. Only one out of this. We're going to be coming up on Michael Koenig to put him a lap down here. He's going to take the high lane there and let the leaders go by. Very polite gesture on his part.
What I think is going to happen with 30 laps to go, or 31 laps to go right now, what I think is going to happen is these guys up front, Yazik and them on back, they're all going to stay single file, play this pit strategy. But when it's time to go and it's time to try to win the race and trying to put yourself where you want to be, they're going to go for it. And I've seen some great side-by-side finishes from teammates in the past.
And would not be surprised to see it tonight, as Yazik's having some blinking issues. I think that's why he's pulling up to the high side. And you're going to see Bryce Whitson go to the front with Cohan, but Yazik falling back.
Yeah, Brian Yazik, he had the same issue back at Las Vegas. That cost him a shot at victory because he had one of the fastest trucks on the track at Vegas. And now today here at Talladega, blinking issues is plaguing him once again.
Yeah, he's going to fall all the way back now to the 8th position. Brian did enter, though, towards the top at points. The problem is everybody's so close together, you really can't afford to lose. I mean, the thing about it, though, is you did have 7 of the top 8. 7 of the top 8 finished in the top 7 last week, I believe, is what I saw at Vegas. So everybody in the chase, you're in it. You're running pretty well, so you can't have any issues at all.
Can't have any issues at all, and this is a track where you can't have any issues whatsoever, because if you do have some sort of issue, whether it's an on-track incident or a hardware malfunction, man, it's pretty devastating.
And Yazik checking on his internet stuff, but so far so good. But it is Bryce Whitson, the guy that, if anybody needs a win tonight, it's that man right there in the 00, leading here at Talladega. 30 laps to go.
That bonus point is going to mean a lot to him.
Looking back here at the second pack, Mark McCrary is leading this pack. He's got 3 trucks. He's got himself, Robert Barber, and Scott Formorsa is actually leading the pack. I stand corrected there. They're a good 4 seconds back right now, and unfortunately, they look like to be falling back just a little bit. They just don't have enough trucks in this pack.
Yeah, when you don't have enough trucks in this pack at all, you know, it can be very hard because you're not going to be as fast as the big pack, because the big pack is carrying so much more draft than what the little pack is. Granted, there's draft there, but it's not high speed as the big pack.
That is that's perfectly said. You know, these guys punch such a big hole that, you know, that's what allows these trucks to draft together so well. Where if you get in, you know, I keep using an example as comparison to Gen 6 car, the air is not as big. The punch of the air, I should say, is not as big as Cohan makes a move for the lead.
Nick Cohan, the jerky man, going out trying to go for the race lead on the bottom side of the racetrack. That'll probably leave Bryce Whitson hanging all by himself, and he's probably begging, give me a hole, and there is no hole until he's all the way in the back of this pack.
As they say, you picked a fine time to leave me, low line. The 11's going to go through. The 7's going to go through. If he's smart, he'll get him behind the 61 maybe. That might be his first opportunity, but that second part of that pack is coming back together. So right now, unless Bryce gets some help, he's going tail end Charlie on this pack.
That's all you can do, and then you fall back in line and wait for the next opportunity to come down. But these guys have been out there on the racetrack for a little while now, so I'm kind of expecting these guys can come down pit road. They did short pit. It's been actually, I can pull it up here. It's actually, they're on 20 laps on that, those tires. Actually 40 laps on those tires, but 20 laps on that tank of fuel. So these guys could be coming down pit road maybe within the next 4 laps approximately.
I'm thinking the next 5 laps, about 22 to go to be the safe number. I'm thinking 22, 23 to go. You're going to see these trucks on pit road. Now, one guy I do want to update, Jordan Erickson, who had the issues on that pit stop, led some laps, started from the back. He's all the way back in the 15th position. He's in a pack of 4. 29 seconds back from the leader, so he is going to need a caution to have a chance to make it 2 for 2 and to keep somebody from advancing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Jordan Erickson back there. He has nothing to lose, but I'm sure he pretty much wanted to try to win this race as well. That's what he's here for. But something had to happen to him on that pit stop to where he was by himself. Now he's in a group with a good group of guys, but just not as fast as what the big pack is.
Yeah, he's got Tim Knott back there with him, Mark Myers and Josh Tanner. That's 13th through 16th back there where Jordan Erickson is right now. But the front pack consisting of 8 cars. Nick Cohan, your leader, Travis McQuiston, Austin Missler, Michael Krobach, Bryce Whitson Jr., Jeffrey Gilliam, Gary Whitson, and Brian Yazik. That is your 8 in this pack. And they are getting ready to probably come to pit road, I would say, in the next 3 to 4 laps. They made a pit stop earlier at lap 12. Again, about 24 laps with the 60% fuel in these trucks. Look for them to be on pit road. Their final stop coming up here very quickly. And if you've just joined us here on the Global Sim Racing channel and on iRacing Live, no caution so far. I don't want to be the guy to jinx it, but we are caution-free so far in this race.
Well, we don't have to jinx it, Chris. This is Talladega. I mean, this track speaks for itself when it comes to the big one. But these big group of guys up here towards the front, I bet they have their radio communications all hooked up and ready to go to one another, and they're talking, hey, man, when do you want to pit? I don't know, maybe we'll
right
pit
now.
In the next couple laps. Right now.
Right now.
Here we go.
Everybody but Cohan.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
Remember that lonely song? Yeah, look, Cohan's singing it right now. You picked a fine time to leave me, Pack.
I like to play that one song. I think it's Akon, Mr. Lonely.
Oh, great song. Lonely. Okay, I'm done with that. But everybody, one car overshot its pit stall.
Oh, man. You
looked like Krobach was one of them. I didn't see the other one who missed his stall, but it appeared 2 trucks did Mr. Stalls, and once again, a fast stop by Bryce Whitson's crew is going to have him first out.
Man, Bryce Whitson's crew, man, that gas man's got to be on top. Man, I'm telling you what, they haven't even taken tires yet this whole entire race. They've taken fuel only, and they've had the fastest pit stop out of anybody on track.
I'm not surprised about the no-tire move, but everybody out. Looks like nobody's going to lose the pack as of now. Aaron Kleinhans might actually. He's coming off pit road right now. So Kleinhans is going to be in trouble losing the pack.
Ooh, babe. Oh, boy.
So now...
Speeding penalty, possibly.
That's, yeah, very good possibility. As Nick Cohan's on pit road.
I didn't see any speeding penalty on Aaron Kleinhans. He took gas and he was on his way.
He might have lost a pack or something there and pitted on his own, but Cohan's going to leave pit road now. Meanwhile, Bryce Whitson just entering the tri-oval now with the 11 of Missler pushing him.
One car only a lap down in this race. That is Jackie Pelmore. So if a caution does come out, and providing Jackie Pelmore does not get involved in any sort of incident whatsoever, he will receive the DSD Lucky Dog. And we got cars spin on the front stretch. It's 31. I think he saved it.
Yeah, everybody saved it. Wow, I was just catching that.
That was Mark McCrary.
Mark McCrary went for a ride, and somehow everybody saved it.
He must have hit a bump.
There. Let's check a look. He might have got a bumper or got loose. You know what? The older tires. That tri-oval, I said you could get light there. Oh, yeah. He got a little loose.
He may have just trying to push the car ahead of him. It's no caution. He didn't spin out. He saved the truck, but I think he was trying to push Nicky Formosa, and he went over them bumps on the bottom side of the tri-oval, and it just snapped the truck right around. And that's the dangerous point of Talladega, is that tri-oval.
Them older tires, the track, and these trucks, this thing can get loose at 18 degrees of banking. That's no slouch. You go over that thing, and your truck can get pretty light, and that's exactly what it looks like happening there, hitting those bumps.
And folks, the start-finish line is not in the tri-oval. It's
Nope.
a little more down towards turn number 1.
And get ready for more pit stops. Looks like that second group going to be pitting here now that they're in the window to go to the rest of the distance. And here they come now. Mark Myers, Tanner, Jordan Erickson.
Oh, who was that? That was down by the wall down there. Whoever that was, that's a good
Mark
strategy.
Myers.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. Now, this is not the original pack Jordan Erickson was with. He actually lost the pack that he was racing with. And
Yeah,
Mark Myers way too close to the outside wall. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not how close you're supposed to be. And they're 3 wide up here in this pack. 4 wide almost.
4 wide.
Still 20 to go. Cohen making a move to the bottom.
And folks, they're driving closer than what you do, than what you park at a shopping mall.
Yeah. I always picture it. Just drive through New York City at 190 mile an hour. That's what you have right now. But this is the pack that's going for the win right here. This is the lead pack right now if no cautions come out.
Nick Cohen, the jerky man, leading this pack right here, and this is a really good pack, a very interesting group of drivers here. And that high line, we haven't talked about this person too much in this race today, but what a shout out to Jeffrey Gilliam as he's getting a big old push to Brycewitz on that high side, doing a fabulous job.
If you are on the lead lap, you have a chance to win. That's what it's all about here at Talladega. Being on the lead lap, having good pit stops, and staying in that pack, and you could have a chance to win this thing. But there's one guy who might be determined. It would be the guy that you go back to Vegas 3 weeks ago, was leading the race with 13 to go, got caught up in lap traffic, and Erickson was able to get by him. Michael Krobach right there in that number 7. He's going to be determined to win this thing.
Yeah, I mean, and Michael Krobach, he's got some pretty good stats, you know. At any other track, he's fast wherever he goes. But, you know, whenever we do a Talladega race, and as we're watching today, I looked at the stat sheets, and want to know what I did with those stat sheets? I threw them in the trash bin because you never know who's going to win this race.
Oh, no. There's the key to winning this thing is be up front. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Be up front, stay on the lead lap, and you got a chance to win as Whitson gets that outside with Gilliam now. Those two able to hold that outside line going.
You know, Gilliam, he was towards the fight of the championship. He's not anymore, and he's had a couple dismal races. But what a great opportunity for Jeffrey Gilliam to run up front and try to win this thing, though.
Oh yeah, and upsets are always in the chase. That's what you have. And Gilliam's ready to upset the apple cart, as they put it here. But that outside line starting to fade back a little bit as Cohen gets a good push. Front of 7 of Krobach.
Yeah, Whitson on that high side is trying to use it just a tick of a side draft. He makes it wide to the start-finish line, which is going to give him a straightaway speed advantage, and it works out for a moment. He actually got to the line before Cohen did.
Now, I should say, this is not the lead right now. The lead is still Scott Formorsa. These guys are 34 seconds behind Formorsa, McCrary, and Barber. Those 3 are yet to pit. When they do, this is going to be your lead pack.
It's probably the most interesting pack as well there, Chris.
Yeah, they are racing. As a matter of fact, Formosa's going to come now.
Yep. They're going to come right now. They're going to try to get single file here, which they already have been, really. I think a car in the outside lane actually may stay out. Understanding that the guys ahead is going to pit.
Yeah, they're going to pit, and then this pack will come and take the lead. At that time, will be 15 laps to go already in this race. This race has just flown by. That's what Talladega does.
Get it wound down, don't get too hard on the brakes, and they do. I don't think I have seen one speeding
33 might
today.
be speeding. You might have saw your first one, Barber.
Okay, I may have put in the pit road curse on him.
Barber might get put in the chair for 15 seconds. Let's see.
Oh, he overshot his pit box, I think. He did.
That's not going to help things.
That just made things worse. I mean, overshooting your pit box like that can mean a lot on the racetrack.
Everybody's pulling away. Yeah, he's sitting there. He's got a penalty for speeding.
He's got a penalty on the 33 for Robert Barber for speeding on pit road, and that is a 15-second penalty that he has to stay in his pit box for.
And here comes the pack into turn 1. You're going to see them blow by the 3 that just came on the pit road right there at the bottom of your screen.
And they're battling. Now that's an interesting, because if those guys that just came out of the pit, like Scott Formosa, they get single file, they could catch those guys ahead.
They could. And they're already up to 180 mile an hour, so there's a chance they could stay with this pack, and how amazing would that be?
It would just mean it would just put more guys into the mix, which is exciting.
"15 laps to go this time by. Your leader is the 21 of Nick Cohan. Bromock there in second. Bryce Whitson third. Ryan Yazik, Travis McQuiston in your top 5. Your first 6 trucks now single file.
Yeah, it's Jeffrey Gilliam's Mr. Lonely on that higher side, but I'll tell you what, that 61 machine ain't going to be afraid to work with anybody on that high side. So we'll just have to see how this all plays out. He actually does have help, though. Who is that helping?
That's a spoiler back there. That's Mr. Erickson, who's a lap down in 16th. That's in this lead pack. He could spoil this for somebody.
Yeah. I mean, somebody could use him as a pick, quite honestly. I would just wonder who in this front pack is actually gonna.
It's almost like which truck maybe does he feel is the least competitive out of the bunch. He could go push him to the win.
Boy, oh boy! Behind Erickson though, they are catching that lead pack.
Yeah,
the Mark McCrary.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Scott Formosa. That is a huge run they're getting. And I tell you what, it would not surprise me with the big run that they're having right now. They're gonna go to the high side.
You know, Jordan Erickson might be backing up to get them to bring them up here.
It could be. There they go, to the high side on Erickson.
I don't know if that was a good idea.
Well, thank you, Jordan.
Maybe so. Look at this line.
And guess what? That just added 2 more cars to the mix, and Erickson's going to help them.
Who fired the slingshot? Look at these two go, and Yazik's going to jump up there.
Yazik's seen it in his rearview mirror. He says, okay, the high
That
line's
was
going.
not a good idea,
That's
Yazik.
not a good idea, and he's put into the middle.
These guys might go 10th to 1st in 1 lap.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be
McQuarrie, wow.
And actually, Yazik is moving forward. That may have been a good move on Yazik's part. He's got Crow. He's hooked up with Krobach. That's one of his teammates. If I'm not mistaken.
Was shades of 2000 watching Dale Earnhardt do something like that. He went from 18th to 1st in 5 laps. That was shades of that. Except he hit a few cars going through.
Oh, we're dancing. Woo.
Now, I'm going to share my opinion here, Tanner, because I've always been somebody that shares my thought about this every time. At this point, though, one truck out of control, contact.
Oh, big crash.
Goes the 80. Formosa in the wall.
And that, folks, is considered the big one.
Whitson. 4 trucks I'm counting right now, and the caution is out with 12 to go.
Now the question is, how many of those drivers are chase drivers?
I know at least 3.
Oh man, something happened to that 80 truck.
He got loose on the bottom, and then all of a sudden he slid up into Cohan, and then they all tangled.
Oh, you want to know what I think happened? I think Formosa was actually trying to push the 31 truck, and when that was happening, Cohan gave him a tap, and Scott Formosa may have been sandwiched and got the truck upset.
Riding on board with Formosa here. Let's see, there's a bump.
I bet he was pushing that 31 truck. Oh, wow, he went for a ride, too.
Yeah, the inside line's checking up there, and the 80 is going to get in the back of the 21 hits the 80. You know what it is? Talladega.
Right here. The 80 car is actually right behind of the 31, and he's trying to push or do whatever he can. Maybe just check up just a little bit. When that happens, Cohan may have tapped the back bumper, got the 80 truck all upset, and got loose and created a big one. That is the complications of the Talladega racing here.
Add a 5th truck. Jordan Erickson involved in that wreck also.
Oh, daggone.
So 5 trucks involved, and that's the first caution with 12 laps to go. Lap number 44 here at Talladega. If you're the leaders, you're not pitting.
Oh, you're not pitting at all, and I think the only chase driver I've seen that was really involved with that was Jordan Erickson, but he's got to win to advance to the next round, though.
Gary Whitson, Jordan Erickson, 2 of the chase trucks that were involved in that wreck. Now, who does this help out? Those guys who lost the pack. So names like Tim Knott, Mark Meyer, Aaron Kleinhans, the guys who are on the lead lap still, they are back in this race now.
And the DSD Lucky Dog Award will go to Michael Koenig there, Chris.
So Michael Koenig, he will be back on the lead lap himself now. So that should put... actually, it'll be one lap. They'll be back on the lead lap. So 15 trucks should be back on the lead lap now.
DSD Lucky Dog, Derek Spears Design.
And I should mention that, I didn't give them the shout out they deserved. Brian Yazik earlier tonight winning the True Power Pull Award this evening. I know we kind of had to fly through with the weather that stayed away so far, the virtual weather, but Brian Yazik, the winner of the True Power Pull Award. So we got 10 laps to go, or 11 laps to go. We're going to take a quick break, get a breather, because we know what happens at Talladega with less than 10 to go. So we're going to step away for a second. We'll be right back here to see the finish of tonight's race at Talladega. Back at Talladega, 9 laps to go in the HPP Simulation Truck Series for the iRacing Online Championship on the Global Sim Racing Channel and on iRacing Live. We appreciate everybody joining us this evening. Michael Krobach, he is going to be your leader. Or actually, I should say Bryce Whitson is Krobach your leader? Let me get it right. Whitson on the outside there will restart in the second position. Brian Yazik And on his outside, Jeffrey Gilliam. That is your front four right now. Of course, Krobach looking for the win to get to the Final Four. Yazik trying to get to the Final Four. They are up here in this pack. Those are the main two right now. The rest of these guys playing spoiler when it comes to the chase and get to the Final Four in the HPP Truck Simulation Series Championship. Of course, next week is Rockingham, but before we get there, we got to somehow make it through 8 laps of mayhem at Talladega. Pace car hangs a left, drives through the grass, does everything there to get to pit road. Krobach can go whenever he wants to here.
And that's a good thing.
He's going to wait for the green. And that's what he does. Green flag is out. 8 to go. Who's going to win Talladega?
Oh,
Cohen to the middle. He's got a damaged truck, too.
That was a great move, though. I mean, if he can stick with everybody, he'll be all right.
He's got a little bit of damage on that front end. That's about it.
Got to be careful pushing in the quarters, though.
Takes about a half a lap to 3/4 a lap to get these trucks up to full song. The 31 there on the inside. That is Mark McCrary. 33, Robert Barber. He's in here.
And this is all I'm hearing, Chris. If I was driving, this is all I'm hearing, and it's getting louder. Tick, tick, tick. It's just getting louder.
Right now, you're working together. And I was starting to say this before the caution came out. I want to be the leader at 5 to go. I know it sounds weird. I've always said that. Why? If the caution comes out at that point, it's over. You've won this race.
Yeah, that's because iRacing does not have green-white checkered system implemented into the iRacing software. So with less than about 5 laps to go, caution comes out, race is over.
And 7 to go right now. Michael Krobach trying to put himself in the chase. Bryce Whitson, who is last on the chase grid, 20 points back entering this race. He has to win tonight pretty much to get in. Now, needless to say, he could go to Rockingham next week and win. But when you look at the realistic and how tough the competition here is in a series, he has to win tonight, my belief.
And right now he's working on it. Or trying to.
Yazik in a very bad spot there in the middle, but he's able to get to the bottom.
Yeah,
looks like the restart still. 6 to go. That time by Whitson led.
That one truck is single file. They're all double file right here, Chris, and they're all trying to go for it. But the problem is, if you're in the back of this pack, you got nowhere to go. You just got to sit and ride and wait for something to happen.
If you're not damaged except Cohan, you're in this pack right now. 11 trucks trying to win this thing. Cohan trying to fit the middle.
Cohen's got to try. I mean, you got to try something.
This is what the chase is about.
Getting scary, Chris. It's getting scary. Talladega, folks. And I'll tell you what.
Look at Yazik almost got shuffled again. That outside line's getting formed. Cohen to the middle again.
And he's bringing that 84 truck. That's Josh Tanner. He's got help doing it. Gilliam. 4 wide.
Oh, Barber's in the wall. Caution is out.
Put it out.
Tim Knott and Robert Barber. Barber got shuffled to the apron. Now we have to get to the replay to see who's leading this race.
Oh man, that might be the race there, Chris, because that time by at the start-finish line was 5 to go.
I'm going to try to see if I can figure out myself here as we look at the replay of Barber. There's one trick I've always learned to figure out who the leader is. What I do is I go to the pace car and I sit there on pit road until he moves. That's when you know the caution came out. You go find the leader.
Made it sound Michael Krobach may be the race leader there, Chris. The only reason why
it should be Krobach.
The only way I say that is because Krobach's not. I mean, if Whitson was ahead of him, he would have let Whitson by.
Yeah, it should be Krobach, and then for second, I have no clue at that point. But Krobach looks like is ahead at the point of caution, so we'll have to see if that's the way they shaped up.
Right, and if Krobach was in second place, he would have got a notification saying stay behind the 00.
And they're just catching the pace car. We are going to have a wave around the DSD Lucky Dog. So I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, I think the race is over. But since there's a Lucky Dog, I think Erickson will get it. Wonder how the caution system really works, because providing if nobody pits and they get a lucky dog, and I don't think this series does one-lap shootouts. They do not do one.
Yeah, so at that point, I think this race is done, because you got to get 2 to go now, and that's not happening.
Yeah, and because they have to do the lucky dog.
So with that said, Michael Krobach is on his way, as long as he can finish the next 3 laps, to the final 4.
Good victory for Michael Krobach, and he actually was battling really hard side by side to get that hard-fought victory away from Bryce Whitson there. I tell you what, but the guy that was really making moves on the racetrack, gutsy moves, but I mean they're completely illegal moves, and probably having some other drivers maybe shaking their fists at him, was probably Nick Cohan. He was making moves towards the middle. He saw the opening, he took advantage of it, tried to do everything he could to get up towards the front, and then the caution came out as Jordan Erickson will get the DSD Lucky Dog Derek Spears Designs.
3 laps to go. Caution coming out for the 33 of Robert Barber, contacting Tim Knott. And they're still trying to figure out what happened a little bit there. As you saw it on the replay, Barber down the apron just came together, slid up the track into Tim Knott. And from there brought the caution out.
I highly doubt it, and we are not going to be going green at all, folks. It is a 3 to go mark, and if it was the 2 to go this time by, that wouldn't really work out, because obviously we're running out of laps, and iRacing doesn't have a green-white checkered system. I just wish they did, but
don't we all? But how about Michael Krobach? Last week that was a race that he led a lot of laps in that race, and had it pretty much won. Had green flag pit stops, and got caught up on a lap car. And when it was all over with, Jordan Erickson got by him, and then a caution at the end of the race put Erickson in victory lane. This could easily be a race tonight that Krobach is 2 for 2 in this part of the chase.
It is, and now after tonight, he wouldn't have to worry about Rockingham anymore. He'll be going towards the final 4 for the pursuit of the pedals, and this will take a lot of pressure off him in the next race at Rockingham.
And you look at second place, Bryce Whitson, the guy that we were talking about, needed to win this race. I'm looking over at the standings right now going into this race. Josh Tanner, he finished up here. Yeah, Jordan Erickson, he's going to finish back in the 14th position, it looks like, unofficially. You got Yazik up here in the front, Cohan up here in the front. So he's going to gain some points. He'll gain on Missler. He'll gain on Gary Whitson, but he's still going to be 8th and at least 15 points back going into the final race at Rockingham next week. So next week is a must-win for him now officially.
Yeah, and with the amount of trucks that really come to these races, and tonight there was 18 trucks, you really have to try to really go for wins, because you don't have a lot of leeway to lose and make up points there, Chris. So I think when you go to Rockingham, it's going to be, as you just said, it's going to be a must-win situation for Bryce Whitson at Rockingham, in my opinion as well.
Oh, absolutely. And Brian Yazik here going to finish in the 3rd position tonight. Another solid run for him as he actually entered tonight's chase in the 4th position. He was only 2 points back from the leader. So right now, unless something major goes wrong at the Rock next week, he is looking pretty solid, but you can't count the chickens before they hatch, as they say. So good run for Yazik, leading laps, winning the True Power Pole Award this evening, and he'll finish in the 3rd position. And Nick Cohan, I mean, what a drive for him. A guy involved in an accident with 12 laps to go, gets the truck fixed as much as he could, and had the power to get himself up in the 4th position. Made him rub some fenders the wrong way, but did what he had to do.
Yeah, well, first on Brian Yazik, him and I, we were talking yesterday. I said, Brian, you want to know who you drive like? You drive like the Jeff Gordon of 2007, because you can match the top 5s and top 10s, especially the top 10s out of the season, how many races that have been run. So Brian Yazik has having a stellar season, and you just talked Nick Cohan, the jerky man. This guy's a racer. Wherever he goes, he takes gambles on pit stops, I mean, this guy, he's crazy, but it works. And he was making moves out there tonight that were really gutsy moves that not a lot of iRacers would really think about doing unless there's like a big crash. They think there's going to be a big crash that's going on. But this guy's just going to take every opportunity to do whatever he can to try to get the victory lane. And tonight he showed that. And what a whale for him to come out to get a close to the top 5 finish. Actually, 4th place finish tonight.
Yeah, good bounce back for Cohan finishing in the 4th. We have taken the white flag just down the back straightaway here before we get to the checkered. And Jeffrey Gilliam, can't leave out the last guy in the top 5. Great run for him. He had lost the pack and fought himself back into it and had a great run this evening. Didn't lead any laps, but a good 5th place run for a non-chaser.
Yeah, the pursuit of the pedals are out of reach for him right now, and he's had somewhat of a consistent season. He has yet to clinch a top 5 or a win yet this season, but he really took the opportunity here at Talladega, and I actually picked Jeffrey Gilliam to win this race just because he's a great restrictor plate racer. I've ran with him before on iRacing official sessions, and he is such a clean racer out on that racetrack, and he knows how to get the things done. He's had some dismal races and all, but he's having a great finish here, a solid top 10 at Talladega.
That's going to be your top 5. Travis McQuiston will finish 6th. Mark McCrary 7th. Josh Tanner, again, Chaser Hill. A good run for him. He survived, finishing in the 8th position. Aaron Kleinhans and Tim Knott going to be your top 10 as the pace car brings the field through the tri-oval. Unfortunately, great racing this evening, but we're going to end under caution. That's just the way it is in iRacing in the HPP Simulation Series, but it's going to be Michael Krobach. He's going to race for the pedals in the final 4. Krobach going to take the checkered flag and win at Talladega. Bryce Whitson going to get 2nd. Brian Yazik 3rd. HPP Truck Simulation top 3 there, all sponsored in the same. Congratulations to Michael Krobach. He is your 2nd of the final 4 participants that'll race for the championship coming up. So with that said, we'll talk to the top 3. We'll also give you the winner of the M-Spec Hard Charger Award this evening, and we'll have some fun coming up next as we take a break here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. round 2 of the round of 8 for the iROC series and HPP truck simulation series is complete here at Talladega. Congratulations to Michael Krobach. He is in the Final Four for the pedals. He'll be racing for coming up in the next couple weeks as he wins today at Talladega. Bryce Whitson Jr., he'll finish in the second position. He needed that win badly, but I'm sure he'll take second after the hard racing this evening. Brian Yazik, he'll finish in third. Nick Cohan, fourth. Jeffrey Gilliam, your top 5. Travis McChristen going to finish in 6th. Mark McCurry, 7th. Josh Tanner, 8th. Aaron Kleinhans, Tim Knott going to be your top 10.
And outside the top 10, you have Mark Myers finishing 11th, Michael Kunik 12th place, Robert Barber in the 13th position, the last car in the lead lap, Jordan Erickson 2 laps down, got involved into an incident, Jackie Pellemore in 15th, Scott Formosa in the 16th position, got involved in an incident as well, Gary Whitson in 17th, and Austin Missler will round out the top 18 car field. As we are now in victory lane, Michael Krobach is here, and the man is celebrating a big win last week, or 3 weeks ago. Michael, you had that race, you could kind of say, taken from you when it was all over with, getting caught up in the lap traffic with about 12 to go and finishing second at Vegas. Tonight, though, bouncing back, getting that victory lane. Now you're in the Final Four.
Yeah, Chris, we finished Las Vegas there and second in points there. Jordan Erickson got a penalty and ended up leading the points for the first time all season, sitting 40th earlier in the year. So to come back here to win Talladega, of all places, I've had horrible luck on restrictor plate tracks. And so to finally, have some luck go our way, it feels pretty awesome to move into the final round for the Pursuit for the Pedals.
It definitely got very testy up there in the front where you were, especially there in those last couple of laps. Did you have, I know it's hard to form a plan, but did you have any kind of plan in mind of like, this is what I want to do or that kind of thing?
I was just going to stay hooked with Brian Yazik as much as I could. He was a good pusher all night and, settle it out between the 4 of us with the motorsports guys that were still up there all night. Bryce was up there, Jeff Gilliam. We all had a solid night on pit strategy. That was flawless tonight. Happy to, get some good airtime for HPP simulation, clipping that Apex TSK design, sim racing apps, Canadian Mini Indy. It was, awesome to have a solid run and, I didn't know what would happen there when that late caution came out. I thought, maybe they might wreck again on the restart and it might end the race, but a couple lanes formed up, and I was worried about the third lane forming up there with Travis or Nick, and just tried to protect that bottom as much as I could. But me and Bryce were pretty even and swapping that lead every lap, and luckily that last caution came out just at the right time when we were ahead, and that put us in victory lane.
It seemed like the trucks had a lot of grip tonight. It seemed like pretty much if you had a group of guys, you could run any lane you wanted to.
Yeah, I think all 3 lanes were pretty even, and we, tire wear was phenomenal tonight. We didn't take tires all night, and I think that gave us some good time there on pit road. Had a couple little hiccups there coming in the first time. Almost was speeding. That was been my breaking point all season long, so I didn't want to do that again tonight. But I think the middle lane, if you could get enough trucks with you, I think the middle lane was probably the preferred groove. The bottom wasn't the best. But it just worked out, that we had to push at the end, and that brought us to victory lane.
So how much pressure does this take off of you, knowing that you go to Rockingham next week and just go have fun?
Oh man, it takes a ton of pressure off. I could never imagine that we'd be in the Final Four, given the way the season started with missing a couple of races, having penalties, sitting back there in 40th. I was just hoping for my best. First goal was to try to get in the top 25, then it was to win a race, and then we won back-to-back races, made the chase. And I was hoping to get into the final round. We've had such a consistent year. I think this is our 11th straight top 7 finish since we signed our new sponsor, Clippin' That Apex. So if you're interested in some custom motorsports art, go check out their website, clippingthatapex.com. But man, it's just this consistency, I think, is what will win a championship, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're looking forward to watching these last 4 races coming up here in the next few weeks. Michael, congratulations on your win. If you want to send a shout out, go ahead and do so. And congratulations on your win.
Yeah, just got to give a thanks to all my Whitson Motorsports teammates for awesome strategy all night. Buddy Nick Cohan, we had some fun running 1-2 for a while there. Just all my sponsors, HPP Simulation and Clippin' That Apex. Thank Mark and Scott for their support.
Michael Krobach picking up another win tonight. He is in the Final Four. He'll race for the pedals coming up in the next few weeks. He is your winner tonight at Talladega. Tanner is with our second place finisher, Bryce Whitson.
Yeah, catching up with Bryce Whitson, and it may have not been a win tonight like Bryce Whitson had hoped for to lock him into the Final Four. But Bryce, it was a whale of a run for you tonight, and you picked up some pretty good number of points. But unfortunately, when you go to Rockingham, it's pretty much the way it looks point standings-wise. It's like a must-win situation for you. Tell us about your night at Talladega, and how are you going to do you think you got the chance to win at Rockingham to get in that Final Four?
Yeah, Tanner, tonight was a little rough for us. We got a little behind the ball there at the end. I didn't want to get down too quick into the lead, just because you know how the end of these things can go. You know, generally if you're sitting up front, you're the sitting duck. So I was just biding my time, and unfortunately that last caution came out and really hosed me. But, you know, we had a great run tonight. I was glad to be up there with my teammates. All of us did a really good job, and, you know, we're going to roll to Rockingham. I'm not going to say it's one of my best tracks, but it's not a bad track for me, so we'll see if we can pull off a win and get into the next round of the chase.
Now, I don't want to pressure you any more than maybe you already are, but as a race driver and you're after Talladega, you've survived Talladega today, and it's probably a more relief off your shoulders than any other racetrack. But now you enter Rockingham Speedway, and it's a very legendary, in my opinion, legendary NASCAR-based racetrack, and the trucks used to go there back in 2012. With Rockingham, you know, what could you do to what's the word I can get out there? What could you do to try to win that race based on pit strategy, or what could you do here going forward?
Yeah, Tanner, really, it's Rockingham's just a different track. It's not always the fastest guy who wins there. It's generally the person who has a decent strategy, or possibly has a good bit of luck. For me, going to Rockingham, every time I go there, I feel like I have to relearn the track for some reason, because it drives so much different than the other tracks on the circuit. But once we get there and get some time on the track, you know, we'll make our schedule or make our plan for the race from there and see what we can do.
You hit the nail on the head. It is a completely different racetrack, and I completely agree with you. I've driven at Rockingham a few times myself, and I can't compare it to any other racetrack that is on the iRacing sim. But now back on the Talladega topic here tonight, you were one of the drivers that really took fuel only on all your pit stops. It looks like tire wear wasn't really a factor for you here tonight. I figured it was really, since it was really cool in the late afternoon setting, it provided you a lot of grip. Tell us about the tires here tonight of Talladega.
You know, really, they just had no tire wear. The last couple of iRacing builds, I feel like they haven't really nailed the super speedway tire. I feel like there's just not enough wear, not enough give up on a set of tires. So, you know, about a year ago, the tires would get real slick on you, and near the end of the run, you'd have to really think about it. But yeah, today, they just pretty much, they stay consistent, and so we decided early on that we were going to go no tire strategy, and, you know, that seemed to pay off.
And it did pay off with your second place finish tonight. And one more question before we let you go. If that would have went green, would you try to pull out to try to go for that win?
That was the plan, you know. Gilliam was doing really well pushing me. Gary is doing really well. Krobach, Yazik, you know, pretty much the whole Whitson Motorsports team. We were all right there together. You know, there were no team orders, but we all kind of knew the situation that we were in, and so there were a couple of us going into this race that were going to have to be a winner you're in, while the others could get in on points. So, you know, at that point, I think what would have happened was those of us who needed the win would probably go race for it, and the other guys would let us do so.
All right there, Bryce. Well, we wish you the best of luck at Rockingham Speedway, and hope you can get your HPP simulation truck to victory lane and advance to the Final Four.
Hey, thank you much, Tanner.
That was Bryce Whitson, folks, finishing in the second position tonight. As Chris, I believe you have caught up with Mr. Brian Yazik, the Jeff Gordon of 2007, as I like to say.
Yes, Mr. Yazik, third place finish for you tonight, which drops your official average of any time I broadcast with GSRC, and you're in a race 2-2. So you've hurt yourself a little bit this evening, but still, good third place run for you, and you got to be pretty happy about that.
You know, I'll take an average finish of 2. That's not. I mean, I've had worse average finishes, but
it was 1.5 before.
Yeah, it was. No, I think if you average it out, it might be like 1.7. So I think we're still sitting all right. But no, it was a great race for HPPsimulation.com, Chevrolet SimRacingApps.com, HouseOfJerky.net. I was I don't want to say I was points racing, but I was. I mean, I wasn't trying to put the car or the truck in a really bad spot, and some of those guys got up there early and they just thought it was, they thought it was the last lap, and I just said I just want to get the hell away from them, just because I didn't quite know what was going to happen. But we had a good run, just bringing it home solidly tonight. Didn't wreck it, didn't even put a scratch on it, I think. Other than the rocks getting kicked up on it, but solid points night. So I'm sitting pretty happy there. So all in all, not a bad race.
As is looking at the point standings going into tonight, you were fourth, about 2 points back. Krobach's in, Ericsson's in, and Tanner finished back in the 8th position, I believe. So that's going to put you up top. So you're where you need to be if you want to get into the Final Four, but you can't be honest and say that you're not comfortable going to the Rock, saying that you can get to the Final Four on points.
You're actually surprised. I am comfortable. If we have a good solid run there at the Rock next week, we're gonna make it in. Obviously, we want to go there and win. When the in the off season there, iROC ran a Pro Truck Series, which is kind of based on the old truck. The 2013 or 2003, whatever the heck thing it was. And I put the truck on pole and led a whole bunch of laps and finished third that night. So I think I've got a 3-point, because I was trying to math there in the last couple laps, because you just sit around pacing at Talladega, it gets pretty boring. But I think I got about a 3 or 4 point lead over Cohan and a couple more back to Tanner. So even if someone behind me in points, whether it be Gary, Bryce, Austin, anybody like that, even if they pull off a win next week, I think I still should be good as long as I keep the 21 and the 84 in my mirror.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually looking at right now, as the points have been updated. You're up by 3 on Cohan, you have 4 on Tanner, and then you have 17 on Whitson. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. If any of those 3 win, you're in. But if anybody below Josh Tanner wins coming up next week at Rockingham, then it could be very interesting. So I guess the best strategy would be just race with them and just keep yourself in check.
Yeah, or just go win. That'll just keep everybody simple.
That's the most simplest format that you could come up with at the Rock when it's all over with. But you know what? One thing I want to mention too, Brian, the teammates being up there, that's got to be something that makes you, your sponsors, everybody happy.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm sure Mark got a kick out of that, seeing us all run up there with the HPP logos. So, it's fun. I mean, I know that they're not going to go up there and do anything stupid and, really jeopardize all of us. So, it wasn't a bad strategy. Even running up there with Cohan, McQuistion got up there. I think even McCreary at the end, I think that was, he was pretty good to run with. So, there were just a couple guys around me at the end that, it just kind of went the way it went, and I was trying to push Mikey, and the top lane wasn't going, and so we were just kind of stalled out there, and the only way I was going to get a shot at the win was if somehow that log jam cleared out, but it didn't. So, but we'll take a 3rd place finish with an unscathed truck at Talladega. That's all that matters. Take it back to the shop, get it ready for Daytona next season. But congratulations, Brian, 3rd place run. You're now the man on top of those who had not won a chase race in the round of 8. So good luck next week at the Rock. Congratulations on your 3rd. Thank you. Really quick, running pink numbers on everything on GSRC that I run this month. Donating to the Young Survival Coalition at the end of the month. It's a charity primarily aimed at women under the age of 35 that are diagnosed with breast cancer. So we're raising a little bit more money tonight. So we'll just keep on going on, and we got another shot at it with Lionheart coming on here. So any of you fans out there that really love watching some good racing, flip over the stream to Lionheart here in about 10-15 minutes. Yeah, tell Soup and Sean I said, hey, nice job, Ryan. Yeah, can do. See you later, buddy. Absolutely. Tanner, we wrap up Talladega here as I filled in for Sam this evening. I know you guys are heading to Rockingham next week, but Talladega lived up to its name once again. Some great pack racing and strategy all galore, and in the end, one man could win, and it was Krobach.
Tell you what, the pack racing we saw tonight here at Talladega was some classic restrictor plate racing at its finest. And now we wrap it up here in Dega and we move on to Rockingham, as you just pointed out. And Rockingham's one of those racetracks where no races exist there in reality anymore. The only way you can really exists is on the Global Sim Racing channel here on the iRacing software. And it's such a great racetrack. It's a very unique racetrack, as I said earlier. It's much different than any other track. So I'm really looking forward to some Rockingham racing.
Rockingham, a 1-mile track in the Sandhills of North Carolina, eats up tires very badly. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch next week with you and Sam, who'll be back. Real quickly, we got away the M-Spec Hard Charger of the Race Award, a guy who started back in 14th, finished 4th, Nick Cohan. We've awarded him the Hard Charger Award tonight, not to mention that damaged truck driving up to finish in the 4th position. We'd also like to thank the organizers and the competitors in the iROC HPP Simulation Truck Series for coming here tonight and putting on a great show. We'd also like to thank the makers of the various software and hardware you see listed on your screen. Thanks to the team today, Tanner Sharp, Joe Peak, and of course the camera guru, Dougie Beard. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, you can always find us at globalsimracingchannel.com, along with the archived races, upcoming broadcasts, and so much more. As you mentioned, the Lionheart Series coming up very shortly. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and on Facebook at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel. A special thanks goes out to Eric Ekholm, Casey Lalonde, who provide us with the music. You can also buy Eric's stuff on iTunes and Spotify, and Casey at CaseyLaLonde@bandcamp.com. All the upcoming races for our other series are on screen, so make sure you do check those out and mark them down on your calendar. Don't miss another second of exciting racing action. But until then, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.